I'd love to kind of get your guys' thoughts on that from an operations perspective. How do we meet the new customers' expectations? Ruby, I'll start with you, and then Kieran, I'll ask you the same question.
Well, it's interesting you said that, Jason. I mean, I don't know if our customers' expectation has really, raised the bar because I think we have a pretty bad name as an automotive industry. They don't usually trust us, right? So they don't have that expectation from that we will be able to do everything like the Amazons and the Uber do because everything we say to them, it's like, huh, really? They have to second guess and really so I think for us right now is actually we are the one that we need to raise the bar for them in terms of what we offer. So when you were mentioning about your service scenario, I bet you didn't expect that from a dealership will offer you three options, but they raise the bar. They want to make sure that this is what they're offering. I think customers are a little bit shocked at the same time. Like I am doing a lot of videos every day to interact with my customer. Even they're like, oh, that's nice. And when we're presenting trades, right, they always, always, always say, oh, the trades is too low. The trades is too low. So it's no longer the case where I'm going to do a video presentation and show them how we appraise a vehicle using a third party analytics. And they see how everything is being arrived at. And they're like, you know what? Well, that makes sense. They feel everything is a lot more transparent now. So we actually need to reestablish, the trust for them to say, you know what, we are like Amazon, Uber. But I think we're so far from Amazon and Uber just because we just have a stigma in the industry that, we're not a trusted
Well,
industry where people want to engage with.
is it the transparency that I think we can strive to achieve? Do you know what I mean? I mean, one of the things I don't take taxis. I'll only take an Uber because of the transparency that I get with the transaction. Like I know exactly how much it will cost me to get from point A to point B. All right. I get notifications of how far the person's away. I can see on the map to know that they're going the right direction. So, I wonder if that's what it is that now the customers have this expectation of transparency. Ruby, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think transparency also goes to show it gives customer the control. When customers feel like they're in control of the entirety of be it our strategy or what we call our process, they feel like they can engage better with us. If we don't give that to them, and how traditionally when customer asks for a price, we don't give them a price. We make it so difficult for us to give them any price. Yeah, come down to the dealership. We'll discuss pricing. No, we got to throw that out. We give them what they want and they're going to shop us anyways, regardless. So we have to explain to them, for example, for a pre-owned car, why we price the way we price. When we give them all the data and it makes sense, create a very logical case, most people will actually go, that makes sense. They will actually understand where we're coming from. It's just giving customer that control with us being transparent. I think that in itself, it's something that, like you said, this is nothing new to us, right? We know all of this. We've just been confronted with COVID-19 and all of a sudden it's a huge wake-up call for everybody to act and adapt. And it's either you want to be daring or you want to be desperate, right? We want to be daring. That's what we want to do. And so this is something we have adapted. This is why I say this is an exciting time in a business perspective, especially in the automotive industry.
No, for sure. I mean, Kieran, how do you kind of see the service operations having to change to kind of meet, the customer's expectations? I mean, I know from the BMW perspective, as a manufacturer, you guys have always kind of held that bar higher than, let's say, others. But I mean, really, it's even what's that next level? What's your thoughts, Kieran's, on how the service operations has to make changes?
Daring or desperate? I really like that, Ruby. And I
It's a
think
good one.
the the fixed operations or after sales side of the business definitely needs to be daring and not desperate. However, yes, our customers' expectations have changed. I don't think they've risen exactly. I think they've kind of shifted to somewhere along the side because it's not the same. Business is not the same as it was 60 days ago, as you said. It's it's different. It's significantly different. As I said, there's a lot of things happening in our industry with those, as I said, perspex shielding, 2 meter distancing, maps around a dealership that you can't go here, it's a one way street, etc. That's really bizarre. And if we want to be offering our customers an experience, do we really need to make them robots? Or it's really strange. I really hope this doesn't last for the next other than a couple of months, just to make sure we get rid of this thing. In terms of how we need to be helping our customers and adapting differently and being that daring industry and not desperate, which I really like. I've written that one down, really. I'll put your quote beside it.
That's awesome.
Again, and I refer to Brian Bedstock of Paragon Honda in New York, and he's been a game changer. I read about what he was doing well over a year ago. I said, that's a great idea. It'll never kick on in our industry, in our industry, because it's too hard and it's too different, and because it's something that we've never done before. Which is, if the listeners aren't aware, Paragon Honda and Acura, which is not sure is it a competitor of yours, Ruby? Probably not, with different country, but again, definitely a forerunner in the industry. And they've arranged a pickup drop-off service for thousands of customers, and they don't charge anything for it. So the customers aren't coming to the dealership; they're getting their cars picked up in the comfort of their own homes and getting it returned. Conversations via video or via phone or whatever means that the customer requests, and it's just easy, transparent, as you refer to, and it just makes sense to the customer. Just like you mentioned, Jason, you're never going to go to the grocery store again, because why would you bother? We want to make doing business with us easy. And I think the service side of the industry is it's never been a more opportune time to do something like this. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the service side of the business pivots in that regard. And in regards to spare parts, as I said, again, a big hit from the spare parts side of things. Again, spare parts is more of a reactionary side of the business, where you don't sell panel until there's a bingle, you don't sell brakes until they're required, etc. And I think that needs to shift as well. We're not going to have panel shops looking to just call us up, implementing different online systems to make sure. Again, that's already in most parts of the industry, but most of the mechanical side of the business is where there's opportunities to streamline that and to make it more efficient across the networks.